Happy Mercedesing. Now in today's video I'm going to show you how I was repairing a lovely W124 convertible. This is the car from my client from Arsenovgrad, from Bulgaria. If you go there, his name is Alexander Zhelazov. My dears, please send him a huge kiss. If you need a dentist in Arsenovgrad, if you're from Bulgaria and you're watching this video, my warmest recommendation to you, if you need one, go to Alexander Zhelazov. Just look for him and you're in the right hands. This man, as I have already said, has a convertible W124 M104 engine, 980, of course, KE-Jetronic, and he has some issues with the car. He had them. Now everything is solved because he bought the airflow meter, the potentiometer from Bosch original, calibrated, and that you're gonna see how calibrated it was. And of course, we had some issues, some minor issues, rich mixture, and we had to solve that thing. And I used this occasion to show you in real time how to calibrate the potentiometer. I know earlier some of you wrote me the comments like, okay, that's good in theory, but can you show us that how it's done in real time? If you want it in real time, now you'll get it in real time. This time. So let me introduce you with the issues with this car. I'm gonna put here the whole comment my dear client wrote me, but as he did, as you can see, he said that the car could be able to run for 15 minutes at most, and then if you tried to drive it, the car would die and would not then start again. Spark plugs black and sooty. So there, and it was really like that, believe me, as the car came in, and I'll have to apologize, I couldn't film that moment. The car had such a rich mixture that it was literally spitting fuel out of the exhaust. That much that my eyes hurt me as I tried to make a throttle blimp. The engine was all shaking. It was insane, insanely rich mixture. Not extremely, but an insanely rich mixture. And the RPM were over 1000 and they wouldn't go down. You will be seeing me a bit uncut at 5 degrees Celsius repairing the car. So let's go to that video. Shall we? This is the video for Alexander Zhelazov from Bulgaria. Here we have one lovely convertible, and I was told that the EHA here is brand new. And now watch what happens as I connect the EHA to the multimeter, what it is going to tell. We dial here milliamps. And now, as I turn the ignition on, here, ignition on. And we get the nominal value of approximately 20 milliamps. Now I'm going to start the car. What we get here, it's almost zero. Vele je v telefon huje srni dim. Se ugušil. Here, as the car warmed up, we get -6, -7, too much, -8, -9 milliamps. Look, this means too rich mixture. So now this is what it means. There, pre-calibrated from the factory. You see this? Brand new EHA. For your model specifically. And we get an extremely rich mixture. Here. Then someone of you could ask me, why didn't you remove the EHA and recalibrate the EHA with the caliper? Well, I did. I have removed the EHA, and if you see here, you can see this thing, the caliper, and as I removed the protection screw, I measured it 3 times and I got the value of 6.6 mils. So I didn't want to touch anything because everything was there. I could just ruin things, and that's why I didn't want to do anything to make no modifications on the car, because the car has a new lambda, and now the new lambda is showing one thing, and the ECU has the old parameters from the old lambda, so the owner is going to do that with his OBD1 scanner. And indeed I got 50%, and then it was way too low, about 10%, something. It was crazy. So it's about the lambda. And here, if you get such readings like me, so if you get 6.6 mils on the caliper, don't touch anything. That's what you need to get. The same thing goes with the potentiometer too. With this thing, which I'm going to prove you later in this video. Don't fall on that. You never, and I tell you, I grant you, absolutely never ever have to buy this part. Never. There is nothing, and I repeat, literally nothing which can go wrong with this unit. Nothing. Believe me. You just have to replace this one. That's the only thing which is here replaceable on this thing. This is eternal. This thing is eternal. Believe me, nothing. So don't fall on that. These things can cost up to 300, 500 euros, dollars. Never mind. This thing costs up to 100 euros at most. This one. And that's the only thing you have to do, to buy this one. And what's the worst thing? You buy this unit by the VIN number and by the engine code. For example, this one would be M102.962. Let's say it like that, or 1, depending of the model, 190E or W124. Or as I had this example, M104.980, in fact 981. So those things you can just, if you're an enthusiast, you can just refurbish them. All you need to refurbish those things is a bottle of carb cleaner, which here in Serbia costs 2 euros, a bit more than $2, and approximately 200 milliliters of gasoline, and nothing else. And you can make this thing shine like new. Now it's up to you. Everyone spends his money as he or she wants it. But believe me, if you want to be a bit rational, then believe me, there is absolutely no need to replace this thing. And the worst thing is, even when you get this one with a potentiometer, you will have to recalibrate it again. And I'm going to preview that too later in the video. Just watch the video till the end and you will see that on the car I was doing on Saturday. I had to recalibrate the already calibrated potentiometer. I'm going to preview that. So that's my advice to you. So let me show you what I actually did. I must apologize because the car is not here now, and it's very difficult to film and to work on the car. What I actually did, at first, I put my 3 mils Allen, and then I turned the Allen counterclockwise for this much. It's an 1/8 of a turn. And then always when you do modifications like this, in my case it had to be counterclockwise, then you wait for 10 seconds and then you press the accelerator. And then again. I turned it again for an eighth of a turn, just so that the car raised the RPM again. I lowered them where they were supposed to be, and then the RPM raised as I then turned once again. In total, I think that I have turned the screw for a quarter of a turn counterclockwise at most. And then suddenly I couldn't start the engine. And then I had to then make the mixture a bit richer again for a bit, until I then made the car start again on itself without the accelerator pressing it. Here, M104 engine, convertible. Here, let's see that play, that famous play we've been speaking about. Here, a bit closer. That's about it. Here, the car is running a bit better. It doesn't hold the RPM over 1000. Now I lowered it a bit, and now I will have to just recalibrate the potentiometer. That's the only thing. The car is still running rich. That's what I can do here to send you just an update. I also just wanted to show you how it looks like measuring the pressures, and for you to see what the nominal value for an M104 engine is concerning the pressures. Measuring pressures on the convertible. Here, M104 engine, EHA disconnected. System pressure constant, and something slightly over 6.5 bar. Let's say 6.5 bar. Now let's start the engine. Let's see now what a fuel accumulator does. Constant 3.5 bar. And now measuring the control pressure. Here is the pressure gauge. Let's start the car. Oh. Any leaks? No leaks. But the differential pressure is 6.2 bar, as I can see here. Okay. No leaks, okay. Now I'm about to calibrate the potentiometer. Wish me luck. Here, this is the typical setup for calibrating the potentiometer. As you can see, here here's some clamps. Here we stick negative. In the middle we stick positive, and now we wait until the car reaches operating temperature. For now it says 0.975. I will try to lower that voltage at approximately 0.7 volts. Just let's see. The car is still cold. Now it's winter time. Here we have 5 degrees Celsius, and now we just wait. And here you have these 4 volts. One here, one here, one here, one here. Those are T15, I believe. And as soon as the car reaches operating temperature, I'm going to loosen them a bit, and then I'm going to tap the potentiometer downwards in order to decrease the voltage on it, because it's too much. But let's wait for the car to get to the operating temperature from itself. Here, the potentiometer. The car runs extremely rich. As we can see here. The potentiometer, new from Bosch, calibrated. Here. The car is still cold. I will see what happens when it warms up. But as for now, this is an extremely rich mixture. Here, the current on the potentiometer, the car is almost warm at 80.8. We'll wait a bit more, and then I'll see if Here, let me show you. This is almost at factory. The car is still running rich, as you can see. But now it accelerates better, and no more that strong fumes. But still here, I don't get perfect 0.7 volts. I still get 0.8. It's a bit rich here, just for you to see. And now the game of nerves begins. Here, I lowered the RPM, and now what I have to do. Here, let me show you approximately in real time how it looks like calibrating the potentiometer. So I'm sorry, I will have to here. You see, we're at approximately 0.7 volts. I'll try to lower it a bit more. This is what you have to do. Look. Now let's see the reaction. So now we practically decrease the voltage. And if you remember, it was 0.8, 0.7.8 volts. Now I'll try to get it even lower. So you take something and you will have to tap it to decrease the voltage. You see? And now let's try to tighten these. You see? It's a bit of pain and game of patience. Let's see how it reacts. Let's say it's better because I get rich mixture readings. So now I'll try to tighten. Look at this now. Here. Approximately 0.7. And I'll also have to do this one. Okay, it's there, almost there. It's inaccessible. So here. So that's game of patience. By tapping the potentiometer, you practically lower the voltage. By lifting it up, you increase the voltage. And that's the whole game. Hi guys. So I want just to show you something. Here the convertible is gone. Here now it's my car in the garage. So again, thanks, a huge thanks to Alexander Zhelyazov from Bulgaria for giving me that pleasure to repair his car, his convertible. So now look, I want just to show you something, because in our conversation it was the story that the car was running too rich. Too rich, it could run for 10 minutes approximately, and then the car would stall. And then sooty spark plugs. Look for yourselves. Just look at this. Here, let me show you. This is not from my car. And if you can see a bit, my tires made a trace. And his, of course. Let me try to give it up to you. Here, this one, here, this one. Do you see these marks? Here, this is my tire. That happened as I drove in back my little baby, my tank. Here. Let me show you just what kind of rich mixture it was at the end. At the beginning, sorry. Here, if you can notice it here, let me just open the door for you. Here, see for yourselves. From here up to here, up to there. Here, see for yourselves. And at the end, look at this. I didn't see it until now. We've achieved this. Here, look. This is what we achieved. What I wanted to tell you is, when you achieve this color, this gray color, light gray, here, the color of this thing, when you achieve that, then you have achieved a perfect combustion. And let me tell you again, look me in the eyes, a perfect combustion. That's something I didn't see. And I'm very happy about that, I can say.